If I was any better, I'd have to call the doctor.
This week on iTunes, Jorby and NEBO drop new ones on us. Jenn Grant drops the mic in a song about the ongoing Palestinian plight, and Takeda Takeda drops into the iTunes studio to talk about their Takeda trajectory. Yous ready, PEI? Let's get her done! How's she going, Prince Edward Island? I am your host, Adam Michael James, and you are listening to iTunes for the week of October 13th, 2024. Happy Canadian Tea Day to all who celebrate, and for real, who needs an excuse to shove turkey in their mouths? While we're at it, let's take a moment to observe what the holiday is really about: giving thanks. And double for real, gratitude is something that we should be transmitting to the universe every day. I try to. Right now, I'm going to add thanks that the island has such a robust array of artists, and that I get to bring you examples of that every week. I mean, the PEI music scene is continuing to grow and expand just like the aforementioned universe. Wonder who our version of the Big Bang was. There had to be music recorded here before Don Messer. If anybody knows, I'd love to have that information transmitted to me. Speaking of transmitting messages, the artist we're kicking things off with this week is one who, early on, learned that music can have both healing and unifying powers, and that by embracing one's own struggles in one's work, openly and authentically, one can bring solace to others who just might need it. This bastion of better making is Jorby, and he uses the full range of curatives in his musical medicine cabinet, emo, alt-pop and rock, lo-fi, and electronica, to craft relatable tracks full of emotions that we've all experienced. Lest you think Jorby merely subscribes to self-help-like platitudes in his lyrics, au contraire, a few weeks ago he released an extended single titled Jorby is Stupid, which contains 3 songs he freely admits are about self-loathing. Guy keeps it real. This past Friday, he put out Anything, his latest, and it's further proof that what he's doing doesn't sound like anything else on the island. Jorby is stupid? No. Like his social media handle, Jorby is bad.
Who's bad? Woo!
Thanks, MJ. Jorby is also an
iTunes World Premiere.
If everything you see is what you get, then you wouldn't have anything. If everything you believed in fell apart in front of you, what can you do? We shattered on the floor, and I'm left picking up the pieces. I'm waiting at your door, but I can't gather up the courage. I'm losing touch, I know. I never could commit to anything. I guess I'm going home. I didn't mean to mess up everything.
The electronic intricacy of Jorby. That's anything on isletunes. Stage fright can be debilitating. I certainly felt waves of it washing over me in the wings of the various plays and musicals I've been in here on the island. While performing in her teens, Jenn Grant faced down a bout so intense, she actually stopped performing for the next decade or so. Lucky for us, the Charlottetown native gave the stage another try and hasn't looked back since. She released her first independent album in 2005, and on the way to the present, picked up nominations and awards from the Nova Scotia Music Awards, the Polaris Awards, the Junos, the ECMAs, and of course the Music PEI Awards. Her most recent collection, last year's Champagne Problems, nabbed her the Songwriter of the Year trophy at this year's ECMAs. Since that record, Jenn has gone in another direction, calling attention to the tragedy on the Gaza Strip through her music. She started 2024 by bringing together over 35 artists from Canada, the UK, and Australia to join her on Hello Everyone, Ceasefire Now, an anti-genocide anthem whose proceeds all go to the Palestine Red Crescent Society, which provides humanitarian relief in Gaza. She's followed that with a cut that's as unflinching as it is affecting, and profits from this are also being donated to Red Crescent. This is Jenn Grant with I Tried to Find You on isletunes. Did I say unflinching? I did. That's why this song needs an
isletunes F-bomb alert!
I've got a riot in my heart. I tried to fight you out in the dark. Babies crying for their mothers on the floor, haunted by the blood and guns and dreams the soldiers stole. And the fathers say it's gonna be alright. And you know that soon we're gonna make it right. I've got a riot in my heart. I tried to fight you out in the dark. Say these words, the only ones that should be. And the occupation Palestine will be free. 'Cause it's a genocide, I'm gonna scream it out. I can hear them cry, can you hear them now? I've got a riot in my heart. I tried to find you out in the dark. Babies crying for the mothers on the floor, haunted by the blood and guns and dreams the soldiers stole. Listen up, you cowards, sending guns and bombs and hazards. You're killing babies in the mother's arms. You cannot distract us from your colonizing actions. Hear the indigenous call. And Mr. President and Trudeau and Netanyahu, well, fuck you, Nikki Haley, and your murdering missiles. Casting down on children while the world is burning. We smell your deceit and lies. And the fathers say it's gonna be alright. And you know that soon we're gonna make it right. I've got a riot in my heart. I tried to find you out in the dark. Babies crying for the mothers on the floor, haunted by the blood and guns and dreams the soldiers stole. Haunted by the blood and guns and dreams the soldiers stole. Haunted by the blood and
Sometimes my pathway is so hard to follow, struggling through life, not knowing tomorrow. But as I climb my mountains, my faith guiding me, I know the promise He made me I'll see, looking towards sunrise. I clearly see a love, a light, a promise, just waiting there for me. Casting shadows behind me, there's a new light before me, a new day before me now lies, looking towards sunrise. Consider the lilies, how sweetly they grow, in ground so soiled, yet no toil they know. Their fragrance surrounds you like a fresh morning breeze. Just like me, I know they must be looking towards sunrise. I clearly see a love, a light, a promise, just waiting there for me. Casting shadows behind me, there's a new light before me, a new day before me now lies, looking towards sunrise. A new day before me now lies, looking towards sunrise.
Going back to 2003 on iTunes, that's Janet McGarry with the title track of her album Looking Towards Sunrise, co-written with longtime collaborator and husband Serge Bernard. Janet might have been just another little girl in Iona had her father and brother not taken notice of her stage presence and encouraged her to sing in island country halls. Adding bluegrass to her mix and spurred on by friends and fans who wanted to see recorded output from her, Janet released her debut and self-titled album in 2000. Now with 13 records in her discography, Janet's latest is 2022's Wearin' the Blues. Coming up, the not exactly missing link between Nebo and 2 Hours Traffic, a dogged directive for dogs, and Takeda Takeda comes out of their shells. Concerning canines, you know that saying, it's a dog's life? It's supposed to indicate an existence that is very unhappy and unpleasant. And let's face it, certain parts of this actuality do suck, but not all of it. There are tons of happy and pleasant elements too, and even more that are in between the ends of this particular spectrum. That's why the past is bursting with all definitions of happenings, and I'm here to give you an island spin on it in This Week in PEI History. October 13th, 1888. The Daily Examiner reported that the 2-year-old son of an Abram Noonan of Albany just barely survived falling into a self-binding machine, which sucked the toddler in past the first roller. Somehow the second roller stopped by his head. The paper deemed the child's escape miraculous, especially since he had lost a lot of blood. The notice directly above that stated that the 14-year-old son of a John Power of Summerside got his hand chopped off working a planing machine at M. Sherman & Company's woodworking establishment. Too bad society as a whole had not yet gotten the memo that kids and giant machines do not mix. October 14, 1944. The Charlottetown Guardian ran a series of in memoriams for those island residents killed or missing in the sinking of the SS Caribou 2 years prior on that day. The Caribou was a passenger ferry for the Newfoundland Railway en route to North Sydney, Nova Scotia from Port aux Basques, Newfoundland, which on that trip had military personnel on board in addition to civilians. The ship was torpedoed by a German submarine, causing 137 deaths. Many historians consider this the most significant sinking in Canadian-controlled waters during World War II. October 17, 1964. The Guardian, running with the sub-slogan, "If it's good for the island, the Guardian is for it," had on its front page the news that Cape Wolf, according to them 12 miles out from O'Leary, mind you the metric system wasn't good for the island or even Canada yet, had taken first prize in the 1964 Rural Beautification Centennial Competition and had also been declared the Centennial Community of Prince Edward Island. Of course, marking the 100 years since the Charlottetown Conference, Cape Wolf was heralded for its, quote, extraordinary and almost unbelievable transformation of its entire area, unquote, which not only earned the coastal community $500, but prominent placement on promotional tourist materials for 1965 and 1966. 39 communities entered the competition, with runners-up taking 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place being Harrington, Spring Valley, St. Teresa, and Cape Egmont, respectively.
Hi, this is Keegan Bernard, and you're listening to isletunes.
Mon père il m'a marié avec un marchand de velours dès le premier soir de mes noces. Il m'a joué un vilain tour. Dis-moi Charles, c'est une belle là. Dis-moi Charlie, je suis belle lucky. Dès le premier soir de mes noces, il m'a joué un vilain tour. Est venu frapper ma porte en 3 heures avant le jour. Dis-moi Charles, c'est une belle là. Dis-moi Charlie, je suis belle lucky. Oh, il est venu frapper ma porte en 3 heures avant le jour. Lève-toi, jeune marié, oh lève-toi, car il est jour. Dis-moi Charles, c'est une belle, dis-moi Charlie, je suis belle lucky. Oh lève-toi, jeune marié, oh lève-toi, car il est jour. Il y a des gens dans la boutique qui marchent sur le velours. Dis-moi Charles, c'est une belle, dis-moi Charlie, je suis belle lucky. Quel lion m'emporte la boutique aussi les marchands de velours. Il y a des chevaux sur mon père qui sont bien mieux soignés comme moi. Dis-moi Charles, c'est une belle, dis-moi Charlie, je suis belle lucky. Oui, il y a des chevaux sur mon père qui sont bien mieux soignés comme moi. Ils ont du foin puis de l'avoine et coups d'étrier soir et matin. Dis-moi Charles, c'est une belle, dis-moi Charlie, je suis belle lucky. Ah, ils ont du foin puis de l'avoine et coups d'étrier soir et matin. Moi qui suis jeune marié, il m'en donne pas tous les matins. Dis-moi Charles, c'est une belle, dis-moi Charlie, je suis belle lucky. Oh, dis-moi Charles, c'est une belle, dis-moi Charlie, je suis belle lucky.
The one and only Loup-Garou on Altunes with a track from their self-titled album of 1976, Dis-moi Charles. Yeah, tell me, Chuck.
Where's the turkey, Chuck? Where's the mashed potatoes?
See, at least that's appropriate for Thanksgiving. Did I say self-titled album? I meant only album, at least under this name and under this lineup. The prog rock quintet was sued soon after this release by Les Loup-Garous, a dance troupe who had already staked a claim to the name. The band chose the similar-sounding Garaloo as a replacement, but 3 of its members needed replaced before another record could be attempted under the new moniker. In fact, only brothers Marc and Michel Lalonde played in every incarnation of the group. And to think it all started with Michel playing a minstrel in a children's show here on the island. Now for a little Alpha and Omega. Beginning and end. Or at least beginning and current. If I have to tell you about 2 hours traffic, and no, I'm not talking about how long it takes to get from Montague to Charlottetown if you're stuck behind a tractor, then clearly you haven't been paying attention the last 2 decades. The group who took their name from a line of Shakespeare was the 2002 brainchild of Liam Corcoran and Alec O'Hanley. 3 years later, the full band dropped their first album, and that led to their songs being featured on Gossip Girl, The OC, One Tree Hill, Castle. I could go on. Oh yeah, they also played the 2010 Winter Olympics. To see how it all started, we're going to pop in that first CD and groove to this representative track, Better Sorry Than Safe. But then we're going to follow one of 2HT's most prominent members into the present with an offering from the band he currently fronts. What's that? Why, I do believe I am picking up the scent of an
isletunes Rock Block.
talk of deacons, we have to keep in mind not to preach to heathens, not to be unkind. When we talk of eunuchs, it's hard not to wonder, are they in their tunics? Do they curse and blunder? Don't you be unkind, keep an open mind. not a matter of cliques, not a matter of spite. When we talk of deacons, we have to keep in mind not to preach to heathens, not to be unkind. Don't you be unkind, keep an open mind. Don't you be unkind, keep an open mind.
Tunes brings you new tunes from NEBO via their Metaphysical Machines album, which just came out October 1st. That is Open Mind. And if you haven't made the connection between this and the previous song, here it is. Liam Corcoran, vocalist for 2 Hours Traffic, is also vocalist for this group. But let's not forget NEBO's other necessities, Sergei Varmalov, Garrett Sherwood, Cameron Menzies, and Neb Kuyunjic, who wrote all 10 songs on this album. The band's members span 3 generations, and their machine truly is metaphysical, with lyrics asking questions like, what is the value of a conversation, and what would you do if you could return from the netherworld? Open Mind is a clarion call for exactly that. Our collective minds sure could use more opening right about now. Don Ross gets around. And I don't just mean touring as a legendary fingerstyle guitarist. Born in Montreal and a member of Millbrook First Nation in Nova Scotia, Don lived on the Cahiwin Reservation in Alberta in the mid-'80s. That seems to be an important place name for him because it was the title of Don's technically first album, which he recorded on cassette in 1986. It's not officially released, but I'm sure Don's got it stashed away in his vault, like Prince. The track Cahiwin was played at the Montreux Jazz Festival in Switzerland in 1988 and recorded there. Ironically, they didn't get around to mixing the multi-tracks they had sitting around until 2023. It took them 35 years to put out their Montreux 1988 album. Anyway, that all means the first and definitive version of Cahiwin was released on Don's 1992 record 3 Hands. And that's what you're going to hear here on iTunes. Don Ross on iTunes with his musical homage to Albertan Reservation Kihiwin from 1992. Still to come, Getting Stabbed with Joy, Jelaine Molnar blows a dog whistle, and Takeda Takeda takes us through their takeaway. Yeah, I know you're thinking, it's getting too chilly out now for me to go see a live band. Well, it's called The Jacket. And I'm here to tell you about the live shows still coating the island, see what I did there, in gigs to dig across Prince Edward Island. Today's Sunday, October 13th, it's the Country Music Festival featuring Kira Gallant, Riel Arsenault, Dax Arsenault, and Benoit Arsenault at the Village Musical Acadien in Abram Village. Thursday, October 17th, Island Jazz, Chris Corrigan at the Vanguard Volume 2. He's at Baba's Lounge. Friday, October 18th, it's Sarah Hagen, Flower Music at St. Paul's in Charlottetown. October 18th also sees Takeda Takeda with Very Jerry and West Ave at Baba's Lounge. Looking into next week, October 20th, it's the Ella Montgomery Soiree featuring Leo Marchaldon at the Barachois Inn in Rustico. That show also happens the following Sunday, the 27th. October 25th, it's Todd McLean's album launch show featuring Gordon Belcher and surprise guests at the Poorhouse in Charlottetown. Also on the 25th, Songwriters and Strings featuring Natalie Williams Calhoun, Tiffany Liu, Amelia May, and Alicia Toner. They're all at St. Paul's in Charlottetown. Also on the 25th, Devil's Punch Bowl and Takeda Takeda with Nameless Friends there at Baba's Lounge. October 26th, it's Nudie, Shane Pendergast, and Amelia May at Dalvey by the Sea, of course, in Dalvey. And also on the 26th, it's the Luminos Ensemble, the Phantom of the Opera, playing a live score to the silent film just in time for Halloween at Florence Simmons Performance Hall in Charlottetown.
Hello, I'm Kinley, and you're listening to iTunes.
Hi, hey, how are you? Tonight, have a drink, it's alright. But don't you go out, crashing your car and try to make sure you're not trying too hard. Get up, get high and get loud. You're one of the band, at least for right now. If you could maybe help us out, drive us back to your house, maybe somehow. Cause we always need a place to stay. Let us crash on your couch for the weekend, and we don't get all that much pay. We just keep coming back because we like it. We'll play for rent, we can pitch for the booze, we can see ourselves out. We've gone soon now, what do you say? Do you have the time? We can see ourselves out. No, really it's fine. I'm not on the road, I'm driving the car, going up to wherever all our friends are. It's on us. I'd like to learn what you like. You can look but don't touch. It's cold, I'm tired and I don't wanna go. Just a few more days out on the West Coast. Maybe I'll play you another show. Should be out of here soon, but hey, I don't know. And we always need a place to stay. Let us scratch on your couch for the weekend, and we don't get all that much space.
Stabby stab stab. No, that's not prep for Halloween, that's stabbing joy. From their 2017 album Loved It More Than You Could Ever Know, isletunes presents to you Will Play for Rent. These guys literally played it by the numbers. They started out with 7 members, then 6, then 5, because the defectors were from British Columbia and headed back out west for the summer. The mainstays were Justice Jones, Alex Casey, Isaiah Jabour, and Luke Pound. And this album was, as their Bandcamp page says, recorded over the course of 8 months in Justice's bedroom and Luke's basement throughout our second year of college. Hey, whatever works, there's no shame in that game. But the name? Justice revealed in a Guardian article that there had been a school assignment to make up a fake band name, and he recalled having left scissors between the couch cushions while playing as a kid, only to impale himself the next day by excitedly making one giant leap onto said couch. Ouch. Ahead of their show on the Confederation Court Mall roof, Justice said he hoped the audience would find them crazy and wacky, which is what they aspired to be. Judging by this song, mission accomplished. Look up Jelaine Molnar and you'll largely get results singling her out as the founder of Fresh Start Fromage, where she cooks up several varieties of nut-based cheese. But let's not forget that she's also an accomplished singer and theater performer. In 2005, she recorded a CD called Lullabies for a Sleepless World, which got her nominated for New Artist Recording of the Year at the 2006 Music PEI Awards. It's a collection chock full of course, lullabies and lullaby-inspired tracks, mostly covers, which I prefer not to include on the show. However, the album is not without its original material, and that, you could say, went to the dogs. Remember that definition from earlier about a dog's life being a negative thing? Well, ask the dogs! Animal lover Jelaine did, or at least imagine what a pupper's schedule would likely be filled with. isletunes maps out a dog day with Jelaine Molnar.
Dog day, come on, it's time to play. The sky is raining meat. There's an endless trail of cats to chase and hydrants line the street. Dog day, come on, it's time to play. Life is one big steak. Today you sniffed 100 butts without a single break. Good boy, buddy, really good. You act just like a dogger should. I'll give you a dog day, I'll give you the night, 'cause you give me joy with all of your might. Spill the garbage, eat my shoe. Do whatever doggers do. Wake the neighbors, do your worst. If I loved you more, my heart would burst. Dog day, your breath is a bouquet. You ain't no pedigree, but of all the dogs that roam the world, you're sure the one for me.
Jelaine Molnar on isletunes with her 2005 track Dog Day. That was a short day. Short, but sweet. Takeda Takeda is not a band name that's simply going to blend into a lot of others. It's going to stick in your mind. That's fitting because their musical output so far doesn't blend into expectations either. They're not afraid to explore different genres and even blend those together when the mood strikes them. Though their initial release got posted before Takeda Times 2's current roster took shape, no big. That was just one step on their musical journey, and this group that's making a name for itself amongst island stages is about to take their next step, recording-wise. I got to sit down with all 4 of them, monitor to monitor anyway, to talk about where they've been and where they're going, including their show at Baba's Lounge on the 18th. Guess you could call it collecting some Takeda data.
Now,
Altuners, you don't need to know Japanese to like this quartet I've got here for you. Not pigeonholing themselves in with one style. They like to run the gamut between indie and alt rock plus punk, new wave, jazz, funk, and math rock. That was a new one on me. True to this math, they added these genres and their expertise coming out of other bands to form Takeda Takeda. And through the magic of Zoom, I've got them here in the iTunes studio, also known as my basement. Welcome, everyone. Good to have you here. Konnichiwa.
Hello.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here. Before we dive in, why don't you all introduce yourselves and tell us who does what?
Sure.
My name is Aaron Turner, and I am the drummer in the band.
And I'm Josh Power. I'm the vocalist / guitarist in the band.
And I'm M. Peters. I play lead guitar and some backing vocals.
And I'm Al Boyd, and I play bass.
Nice. So I looked up the word Takeda on Google Translate, and it didn't tell me anything as far as I could see. Takeda is at least a proper name. So how did you guys settle on the name, and what meaning does it have to you?
Well, actually, it's in general pretty into history, and Japanese history also is a reoccurring interest of mine. And Takeda was actually the name of a clan in the Warring States period around like 1500s, 1600, early 1600s, and late 1400s, I think. But yeah, I was just looking into the history of it one day, and I thought, that's a cool name. And then I just thought, maybe I'll just have it repeated. And
it does have a meaning, though.
It does. Well, yeah, there's two ways, I guess, of spelling it in Japanese. And I think I could be slightly off, but one is kind of like I think bamboo field, and one's like military field, depending on the spelling.
So we've got some Japanese stuff going on. I love that you don't limit yourselves to one genre, and that you're willing to incorporate elements of different genres to create your sound. So who have been your influences, and what continues to inspire you separately and together?
Oh,
well, Josh is the main songwriter, so he can probably answer.
Okay, well, I guess for me, to name a few, Strokes have been a huge influence for me just because they were one of my favorite bands, and it kind of changed the way I approach songwriting and everything. But also Radiohead, it's huge, I think, all around.
For all of us,
yeah. Interpol is another big one for me specifically, but then there's the Vines, which have been a pretty big influence. The Hives, yeah. Stone Temple Pilots, Franz Ferdinand, Block Party, Arctic Monkeys, just a whole bunch of random assortment of bands. But maybe think, oh, what if I try pulling in some ideas from like this band and then mixing it with this one and just see what happens. And so far, a lot of times it turned out well. So
we all kind of have like our own individual different influences. That main core idea that Josh brings to the table might, it'll morph once we all kind of add our own flavorings.
Exactly.
Like Josh is such a great songwriter. Has a great intuition with songs that it's pretty easy to mesh with that and bring something that works. It makes it very easy already. And like we all come from different backgrounds and styles. Like I'm involved in several different things from all across the genre spectrum. I played in like metal bands, and I play with Scott Parsons, who plays reggae and folk, and I played some prog stuff. I played indie stuff. I played a lot of acoustic folk stuff, and just we always try to take what we learn, take stuff that kind of resonates with us from all those different styles, and kind of use it to our advantage in creating our own sound. We try not to limit ourselves. We try not to stay in a lane. We'd always try to branch out and just try stuff. Just if it sounds good, then it is good.
I'm speaking with the band Takeda Takeda, who's making a mark for themselves on the island. Now, you put out your first EP in our shells earlier this year, right?
Well, the funny thing is we actually started recording that before we started playing any shows. But we kind of just sat on it for a while. We weren't really sure exactly what we were going to do, but I ended up just putting it up on SoundCloud one day, just
to have something tangible to show people, just to kind of showcase what we sort of sound like in that time. But we are looking to record a full album. If any of your listeners feel like helping us out with that, it's always a huge endeavor recording. So that's our next big project is recording a full album and putting it out as soon as we can.
Yeah. And a lot of motivation for that is coming from when we are playing our shows. We're playing quite often now, most weekends. Yeah. And without fail, people come up to us after and say, are you on Spotify? Do you have music out? We Josh, we do get to say we've got an EP on SoundCloud, but it predates some of our members, and the music that we have that we're playing now is not. Came after that. So there's it seems like a lot of demand for people to say what you're playing in front of us right now. We want to be able to stream it. We want to be able to hear it. So that's definitely a huge motivating factor for us to get something
absolutely. And Al, you had said that you're playing a lot of live gigs, which I've noticed too. Your next one is Friday, October 18th at Baba's Lounge, right? Aside from the fact that you're going to be sharing the stage with the Nova Scotia group West Ave, what can music lovers look forward to at this show from you guys?
We get loud, we get fun,
lots of energy.
Yeah. Just good old rock and roll music, rock show.
Do you have other shows coming up for the rest of the year?
Yeah,
we do.
Well, we're like you said, we're playing on the 18th with West Ave
and Very Gary. Yeah,
and then the following weekend we're back at Baba's.
The Devil's Punch Bowl, who's also going to be playing,
and then also the following weekend we are back at Baba's because we're playing a show with a band called He She They. We're there with them on November 2nd.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're so busy. And I'm going to propose that the English definition of Takeda be changed to awesome, because that's what Takeda is twice over. And you're going to hear a song from them right now. So it's time we start turning Japanese on iTunes. Look it up. And thanks so much, you guys, for taking time out of getting ready for Friday's gig to yap with me. I look forward to hearing from more of you here in this field.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much for having us on.
Arigato, minasan.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Fill your head up with expectation. Then break down when they fall apart. Just focus on minor tribulation. Nothing ever feels like it's good enough. You're not the king of the civilized world. It's not about you, it's not about you. longing for a sense of liberation. Nothing ever feels like it's good enough.
The deliciously 80s sound of Not the King from Takeda Takeda's In Our Shells EP, shelled out on iTunes. As they said, so far their music is only up on SoundCloud, but a follow-up available for purchase does seem imminent. Got some diversity in the lineup too, rock on. Don't forget, Takeda Takeda will be on stage at Baba's Lounge this Friday, October 18th, but they'll also be there the following Friday, the 25th, and again November 2nd, and again November 16th. Takeda be taking over. Speaking of over, yeah, we're done. But you must admit the past hour-ish has been an awesome cross-section of the music PEI has to offer. Have you ever stopped to think how amazing it is that this little province of ours has such an expansive music scene? Last count, our population is, 178,000? I mean, Oakville, Ontario has more people than we do. So does Richmond Hill and Fort Lauderdale. You don't see any of these places boasting the amount and variety of music that we've got, so be proud of yourselves. Hey, you can make a comment on or a suggestion for or even a request to iTunes simply by calling, voicemailing, or texting 902-807-4250 or sending email to amj@isletunes.ca. These are also ways you can get a recording to me of yourself uttering an island saying like the ones I always use to open up the show. The utterer for this one was Justin Dwarin. Come follow iTunes on its Facebook and Instagram pages. On both, I always post links to where you can buy the songs you hear in episodes. These links also go up on isletunes.ca. If you're feeling a little generous with your hard-earned cash, help iTunes with its expenses by donating via PayPal, link in the description, or subscribing on Patreon at patreon.com/iletunes. It ain't free for me to pump out an episode every week, so allow me to thank you in advance for any contribution you can make while we're on this giving of thanks thing. Musical contribution to the iTunes theme by Kaylin McCauley and John Hashem. Show concept by Rocky O'Neill. Coordination assistance by Jackie Robichaux. I'm Adam Michael James, and we'll do it all again next Sunday when who knows what musical gems I'll be picking out of the island's hat. Currently, it's the dental plan of Teeth Out to sit for the iTunes microphones, and October will end with a very special guest, Todd McClain. You know what you have to do to deserve all this. That's right, be good. And if you can't be good at it. See you in a week, and thanks for listening, PEI.